My name is Wassim. I'm in charge of developer relations for Elestio. You can find me on social medias on Twitter and YouTube with the handle Wawa Sensei. So today we will talk about how to use ChatGPT to do your developer community task. So we will have a brief overview of how you can use it to achieve better in less time. So first of all, I think all of you know what is ChatGPT, but we'll do a quick recap. Just to know here who uses ChatGPT to do his job. Oh, okay. So it's half of you. I hope I will motivate everyone to use it over time. So first of all, it's a chatbot made by OpenAI. So the difference with the previous AI we were used to use for doing our tasks is the fact that a chatbot has a memory of what you said to it, and the answers that ChatGPT is able to give are levels above what we were used to have before. It gives very human responses and very high quality responses. Sometimes you don't know if it's a human or an AI. It is currently free, so it's a great opportunity we have to use it, even if there are premium options. It's all about prompt, which means to use it, you need to feed it with data and information. And based on the prompt you will give to it, you will have different level of quality of answers, and there are even jobs that are appearing, which are prompt engineers. So it's something trendy overall. And recently, the OpenAI chatbot API has been released, so we will have new applications available on the market using AI. So as a DevRel, why would you use ChatGPT? If you are not working in a free-form way, usually what you do is you define a strategy. You have resources, budget, and time, and you need to find the perfect formula to build your communities and grow your audience. And then you will execute that strategy. And then when you executed that strategy, you will have the outcome of it. So you will get metrics and based on your KPI from your company. And the good point is that ChatGPT is good to help you on all of those milestones. Even if my opinion is currently its best is on the execution part. So let's have a look at effective ways you can use ChatGPT to make the different tasks you might face as a developer advocate. So the first one is ideas generator. Maybe some of you are creating content or must find ideas about something, and we are not always in the good mood to do it. So having a bot that you can ask to it some ideas and it will give you really high quality answers can help you to go from a blank page to something in mind. So I asked to ChatGPT to do my job. So as a developer advocate for a startup hosting open source software, can you give me Twitter topic ideas? So I won't read all of them, but just have a look at the first one. The first one it gave is highlight the features of your open source software and how it can benefit developers. So it's not only giving me the idea to highlight features of one open source software, but it was very human and focused on the outcome we can get from it by adding the end of the sentence, which is how it can benefit developers, which very looks like a human reflection behind these answers. And when you have those ideas that come from AI, or even if you already have ideas, because I don't think you start from a blank page every time, maybe you have a spreadsheet or a Notion with all of your ideas and weekly content, monthly content, you can feed the AI ChatGPT with it, and it will give you some alternatives ideas, so you're never out of ideas to create content or just to define other stakes of what you're doing. And you can also use ChatGPT as another way, not by using it, but by talking about it because currently it's very trendy. It was when it was released in November a few months ago, but now it is also trending because the API has been released. And I think the most performant top posts I made were the one talking about ChatGPT. So it's a smart way to use it. Now let's discuss the one of the most effective way to use ChatGPT is for content writing. So you might have ideas and you need to write different form of content to it, like documentation, blog post, um, LinkedIn post, whatever social media you want to write on or to answer on your community and user base. So you can use it to rewrite content because for a language tool, it's very powerful. So let's say you have a Twitter post that you wrote yourself. You can say, okay, from that, I want to stay on that topic, but I need to use it as a blog post. So if you do it manually, it will take you a lot of time and it's sometimes very painful. But you can also ask ChatGPT to do it, and it will generate a longer version of your tweet as a blog article or as a LinkedIn post, which is a different way to communicate on social medias. And it's important to keep the control on the outcomes because when it will expand it, maybe it will add some IDs you don't want to put. So you will adjust your prompt or just erase the part that you don't want. And don't forget to always add your touch because it will feel more human and it won't be spotted that it's an AI content. And for non-native speakers like me, it's very useful to use it to need to write English content, but based on your accent, it can help verify that you're writing correctly with the AI, and it has a lot of native content it has been trained with, and it helps a lot on that. Even if there are other tools available like Grammarly that can do it, here it's directly integrated. Another way you can use it is to write code and documentation. So one thing that it is great is that it analyzes the code very fastly in a few seconds. It's able to tell what the code is about. On this example, maybe you can say, so I will explain it. I just gave a function named moving item. So what it does is moving a 3D object on an axis. And me, I didn't put any comments. And the AI just without context, just the code, it was able to add many lines of comments more than code itself and explain everything that is happening. So if it's able to do it just on one function, you can get that if you feed it with all your code base or the important parts you want to share, it's able to generate wonderful documentation. Of course, you need to keep the control and that the touch of your company or project style, but it will simplify the work and make you gain a lot of time. And because it's a powerful coding tool, you can use it to fix bugs, or if you are writing MVPs, maybe you can add to be a starting point for your code or to help you if you struggle building something. So another way you can use it, and it's been enabled by the fact that the API has been recently released, is to use it as a search engine, because a search engine, and I'm sorry because I know some of you work for search engine open source software here, it's based on what is written, but the AI is able to understand the meaning of your sentence. So even if no word match, and to redirect you to the correct maybe documentation article or whatever. You can also use it at the virtual support, because if it has all the documentation and all the resources of your product, it will be even more performant than you to give an instant answer. It could act as a shield to your company to do the first answer and save you some time. And then when it requires a human, it will send you a message and then out of it you will do the support. But you don't need to be here at the very beginning. Another way you could use it is for defining your strategy. Maybe you will have KPIs and metrics. You can export it to JSON or Excel file or CSV, and you feed the AI explaining what it is, what is the period, or it can be found by analyzing the data, and it will automatically be able to understand what is happening in just few seconds, and it can write for you a report of what is happening, and you can review it and maybe edit it. So it's a very useful way to saving a lot of time. I see some risk and the limitation to use it. A question that I often see, and maybe for junior developers, is it going to steal our job? I don't think yet it will with the current versions we have, but something I deeply think is that the people who don't want to use it might have their job stolen by people who will use it correctly and will be able to perform way better in quality and with less time. So there will be a gap between those persons. Another current limitation I see is that it's by OpenAI and it's the only product at that level. So it's mostly free, and you don't know if sometimes they decide it's not free or it costs a lot, or they just shut it down. If you can't work with it, you need to find other ways, and it can harm your productivity. And I also think working without can be sometimes painful, even for me, because my brains know it's very there is this simple solution to do my job. So if not using it, I will be wondering, I will struggle more than before because I was not used to it. So maybe we need not to rely too much on it. And the last thing I see as a risk is the fact that ChatGPT is currently trained with data from November 2021, so it's 1 year and a half ago. And now there is this tool, we will see a lot of content, and maybe not everyone takes the time to modify just the tone of voice, and maybe we will be flooded with content that is all the same, and it will be more difficult for us to provide our good-looking content and to be it might be complicated, and maybe it will next in worse than when it was only on human content. To summarize a bit, I think it's a perfect assistant because it helps us do some tasks that are not high value if you do it or if the AI is doing it, but it will do it a perfect way and with a high quality. So it's life changing because if you can focus more on your strategy, it's way better than spending time or budget to have the time spent on content writing or different tasks. And I don't see it as opposition to humans. I see it as a bridge between humans, community, and the DevRel teams. So I'm quite optimistic about it. And it's a new era that is starting with the API because we will see new tools emerging. All of the tools we have yet before ChatGPT were based on GPT-3, so it has no info about the past conversations, but now it enables a lot of tools that will appear over the coming weeks and months, and we will also see upgrade versions of ChatGPT, so it's quite promising. So thank you very much, and if you have any questions.
Please go ahead. So